You're watching NewsNation Rush Hour. I'm Nicole Burley, and Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito is sparking debate on whether political speeches by the justices break down the court's image of impartiality. Alito dismissing criticism over the High Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. He made the comments at a conference in Rome promoting religious liberty. Correspondent Kelly Beeson is here with more. So, Kelly, did Justice Alito give a reason for his comments?
Well, Nicole, he said the challenge is to convince those who do not identify with any religion or view religion as negative that religious freedom is worth protecting. And these were his first public comments since last month's ruling on Roe v. Wade. In Rome, Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito poking fun at criticism that multiple foreign leaders gave of the court's June decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
What really wounded me was when the Duke of Sussex addressed the United Nations and seemed to compare the decision, whose name may not be spoken, with the Russian attack on Ukraine. If we are going to win the battle to protect religious freedom in an increasingly secular society, we will need more than positive law.
It's a move that's grabbed headlines, some calling it inappropriate for Alito to comment publicly on the decision.
Justice is speaking out and saying, here's what's going on. Here's how I think of the opinion in plain colloquial English. That's information that could be a good thing. On the other hand, the more that they speak out on those issues, the more they are recognized as potentially just a purely political branch, and that may undermine the important apolitical work that they do.
A recent poll found 43% of Americans have hardly any confidence in the court, up from 27% 3 months ago. And this isn't the first time a Supreme Court justice has come under fire for comments made outside of the courtroom. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg faced criticism for being outspoken about her distaste for former President Donald Trump, reportedly calling him a faker, stating, "At first I thought it was funny to think that there's a possibility that he could be president."
The rules about Supreme Court recusal are quite vague, and because there's sort of no one above them, really, short of the impeachment process, I kind of think they set their own rules.
Todd Henderson is a professor of law at the University of Chicago, who says the only way he sees a potential withdrawal of a justice is if they make comments that clearly demonstrate they're prejudging a case. In his opinion, Alito and Ginsburg did not cross that line, and he doesn't forecast it being crossed in the near future.
I think the justices understand the stakes, and I think they're going to dial it in so that they are striking the right balance between giving us information without undermining the court's authority.
And Henderson also noting the court has a bunch of big cases on its docket, including the affirmative action case. He predicts the scrutiny of the court will only intensify in the days and weeks ahead, Nicole.
All right, Kelly, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.